Hello, and welcome to another one of my daily Honkai grind videos. This one will be for the Superstring Dimension. As you can see, I'm currently Agony III, and I'm going to be working on trying to get back into Redlotus. Now, getting into Redlotus, I've been able to do that, not regularly, but fairly often. Staying there, though, it's rare for me to last more than one or two rotations. So, I need to work on that. For now, though, let's break back into Redlotus. Let's see what we got lined up for today's missions. So today's enemies are weak to physical damage, and they take less lightning damage, and they are, it looks like, all biotype. Alright. That leaves me with a few options. And the bonus mission is going to be enemies are weak to fire damage, or ice damage, and take less fire damage. And the final boss, interesting. It's an interesting blend of enemies. The final boss, I can take elemental-based fighters against this boss. However, it is not a good idea, as they do significantly reduced damage. It's not like some of the other bosses that are immune to physical or elemental damage. They're never immune to both, but they're sometimes immune to one or the other. But the damage output from any elemental damage dealer will be greatly reduced against this opponent. But, let's see here. Well, that's the recommended team loadout. The one I'm going to go with is actually somewhat similar. I am going to be bringing in the Herschel of Sentience, because she works amazingly well with the Herschel of the Void. This whole team actually has a really solid dynamic. So, let's dive on in. Now, if you do have the Mecha Durandal, and you have her geared up nicely, she is an excellent choice, and she does amazingly well when it comes to damage dealing. This team, however, works for me, since I actually have pretty much all the ingredients necessary to make this a really functional team. As you can see, the damage output is fairly substantial, even though it's bio versus bio. I do have a bit of an advantage in that I have souped up the Herschel of Sentience and the Herschel of the Void fairly well. Herschel of Sentience has most of her good gear, and her secondaries are actually not that far off from being almost as good as her recommended. And there I go, making the wrong choice and a switch over. It's a good thing this round doesn't really count for much of anything. Alright, final floor. Final horde of victims. Oh dear. That was slightly unfortunate. That particular enemy had just basically gone into their invincible state. Thankfully, though, I was able to lay down enough heavy hits to knock them out of their invincible state. Those enemies are always annoying to fight. That's the first floor. I think I'm going to skip ahead to the third and then fourth floor, and I'll come back to the second floor. Second floor should be a cakewalk. I haven't had issues with it before. I don't see any reason for me to have issues with it now. Now, the final floor, I might switch in my Mecha Durandal. She's far from perfect, but she may be good enough to get me into, maybe not the top 3, but at least within the top 6. Which is all I can really hope for, honestly. Of course, I might be able to do just fine with the Herschel of the Void, since I do have her geared up, as I've said. This floor is, well, not pointless, but I don't really have to really put in too much of an effort. And yes, I realized I used really way too often. I suppose I could stay in those little red circles coming down to get the black hole buff that comes from dodging the impact. Every 2 of those lightning strikes you dodge, you get a buff towards being able to use a black hole that pulls in all the enemies. That time didn't count because I dodged too early already. There we go. This spider boss is always a bit of a pain. Not because they're overly powerful or anything like that. It's because they tend to be annoying. They often attack disregarding their own health. And it can create issues. Especially if you have any kind of a combo build-up that you need to avoid getting hit for. That, and they can sometimes be very tanky, because when they go in that berserk mode, they actually take reduced damage, which is also kind of annoying. And right here, for whatever reason, I am stunned. I don't even know what hit me to stun me. But that's the spider bot for you. They nail you with stuff you'll never even see coming. Stun you in place. Part of the reason it's such an annoying enemy to fight. And see, I can't move, I can't do anything. You know, fun, fun, fun. It's what you want in a boss, right? Who doesn't love fighting a boss you can't fight back against? Anyway, that's my gripe. Moving right along. And there we go. Round 3 complete. Now for the important round. This is the one that's worth all the marbles. One important distinction about bringing Durandal to this particular fight is the fact that Durandal can shut down some of the boss's attacks. That's actually very significant. Alright, here we go. Final floor. A little slow getting here, but hopefully it's going to be okay. Well, it's not looking good for me to break the 800 mark. Well, I might get close, but yeah, I'm gonna break the 700 mark, I think. Barely. 747. About 100 points less than what I should be aiming for. So I'm thinking giving Durandal a go on this one might be a good idea. Yeah, top score is 886. I am far, far away from that. Anyway, let's do the last floor so my score is actually up where it should be. And then give this another go, using Durandal. I know it's recommended to use this character because these enemies are Psi-type. However, I've only really got a decent ice damage dealer in the Herschel of Reason, and I don't have Argent Knight. And in the case of this floor, it's the sub-final floor, so not having the perfect character isn't as important as it would be on, say, Redlotus. Basically, it's a case of whatever gets the job done. Here we go. Ultimate fired slightly early, but it should be alright. One big advantage with the Herschel of Reason is her charged attack ignores weakness, or I should say resistance. Alright, so here's this fun stage of just try not to get hit. It's literally all you do. Sit and wait, sit and wait. Ooh. And all done. Because I didn't really, there was no gonna, well, let me, how should I phrase this? There's no time bonus for these stages, so as long as it gets done, it doesn't matter how long it took you. The only stage that it's really important you get it done quickly and efficiently, I should say, is this one. So, let's swap things around a little bit. And let's throw on Durandal. Where are you at? There you are. I do not have Durandal's lance. It's kind of important that you do have it. However, if you were lucky enough to draw this when they had the Eva crossover, this lance is good enough. It's a physical damage support lance, but it works very well in the hands of Durandal, as well as the character from that event. Now, she is definitely not built ideally for this encounter, but it should be more than good enough. I gotta admit, this is definitely not going well. I'm already in the 800 bracket and I'm still on the first stage. And I'm not cutting through these enemies anywhere near as quickly as I was expecting to. Well, unless I can take out the boss in 2 or 3 swings, this is not working out. I haven't even finished this one off, and that is a fail. Let's try again. My previous score was 747. I ended that when I hit 746. Let's see if throwing down all the buffs makes the difference. So far, it's not looking good. Final floor, and I'm already 30 points behind. No, sorry, 45 points behind my previous attempt. At least pulling out all the stops for the first round seems to have gotten me into this part faster, but it's still not looking promising. And it's looking like we're barreling straight towards another fail. And that is definitely a fail. Because it doesn't matter if I complete that stage. If I don't have a higher score than what I've already got, it has no impact. So, I'm going to see if I can possibly squeeze more points out using my Herschel of the Void setup. There's no guarantee, but it is possible. Let's see what happens. So, that was a prime example of not having a Valkyrie geared up well enough to do the job that's required. They might be the right tool for the job, but if you don't have the gear for them, it doesn't matter. Because this is literally a gear check. If you don't have the right gear and it's not all souped up, you're not getting this done. At least not at a competitive rate. I know the saying, but it's a bad carpenter that blames their tools. The thing is, it's all good carpenters, and a lot of them have good tools, and if you don't have good tools as well, you can't really compete. All things being equal, same carpenter using a pair of rusty tools versus a carpenter using a pair of master-crafted, well-kept tools. The carpenter using the better tools is going to produce better furniture. Unfortunately, it's not looking like I can improve my score, because, yep, there, that's a fail. I'll try again. I took too long getting into the final stage. Last time I was at 915, this time I was at 899. Okay, there we go. It's a 15-point improvement over the previous attempt. At this point. I think I may have messed this up, unfortunately. No, even despite messing it up, it looks like I may have improved my score. Just not by as much as I... Nope. I messed up too much. So I got to this stage faster, but I kept messing up, and unfortunately lost all that extra time, and then some. I'm gonna give this one more go. Alright. I'm gonna focus this time, and do my best to get it done. Well, I was slower getting into this round. Let's see if I can recover. It's not looking promising, though. Oh, maybe. No, my score is unfortunately worthless. I'll finish them off just to finish them off. I had momentum going, but then I just kept messing up. I guess that's just gonna be my lot. I'm not going to make any score on this one. Most likely, I'm actually going to lose at least 75 points. There's 22 hours left at this point for this challenge, and my score just does not cut it. Disappointing. I expect to see more scores that are in the 850 range taking up second and third place before long. Well, I guess I'm not moving back into Redlotus this time. But also, I shouldn't be falling out of Agony, so... I guess I will remain in Agony for now. So that'll be it for today's Honkai Daily Grind video. for Superstring Dimension. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, maybe learned a thing or two. I know I always do. And I definitely hope I'll see you again soon. So make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll catch you next time.